guys, it's me Emily, and today I have another video for you guys today. I noticed that there's been a trend on YouTube recently that's other people talking about rude YouTubers or celebrities they've met, and I decided, hey, I've met a pretty good bunch of YouTubers, so why don't I make a video about it? Except, I honestly have not met any YouTubers that have been very rude. I've met some of the people that I've seen other people talk about that were rude. If that made any sense, like I've met people that I've heard were rude, but they were very nice to me. Like I've honestly never met a rude YouTuber. And also I really don't think it's that nice to be talking about YouTubers and how rude they are, because I feel like people have bad days. I decided to make a nicest YouTubers I've met, and I have met a lot of YouTubers like a couple of times, and also when I've met some YouTubers it's been very quick too. So if I don't mention YouTubers that I've met, it's because they just didn't really stand out to me. Like these people were above and beyond super nice to me, and I think that's really important. And it's really important too for me if they're just like how they are in their videos. I know a lot of people are different how they are online than how they are in person, so it's important that the person that I'm meeting is the same person I've watched online for years and years and years basically. I'm also going to have a quick disclaimer. I'm going to try as hard as I can to not be biased with my answers too, because a lot of the YouTubers are some of my favorite YouTubers, like favorites, like top of the #1 favorites. So I'm gonna try and not be biased mentioning them. There's spoiler alert, but I'm gonna be trying not to be biased because I know that it's kind of not fair that these people are my favorites. So of course I'm gonna pretend like they're the nicest people ever. But this is also not gonna be going in any order either. I'm gonna save the nicest person for last, but after that, like it really doesn't go in any order. So the first YouTuber that was very nice when I met her was Hannah Hart, and I met Hannah Hart at her book signing last October, fall-ish. I met her on her Buffering book tour, and it was my very first time meeting her. I've met a lot of YouTubers on their book signing tours. That's mainly like how I meet a lot of YouTubers, because they really don't do many tours, and if they do tour, I don't really want to spend that much money to meet them. I don't know if it's the YouTuber or the bookstore or the crowd patterns on how the signing is gonna work, but I really liked how hers worked, because I went up to her, she asked for my name right away, and she signed my name actually in her book, which was really cool because nobody's done that, and it's great that she took the time to do that. And I actually had the chance to have a conversation with her. She seemed interested. I had a funny story to tell her, and I really enjoyed meeting her. I'm not gonna put in my photo with her, like I'm not gonna overlap it, because I literally look like the ugliest potato you've ever seen, but I'll show you my book. Here's my book, and she wrote Emily on it. The next YouTuber that was one of the very nicest YouTubers, nicest, extremely nice, best, I don't know, nicest YouTubers is Che Cameron, aka my name is Che on YouTube, and I met Che on my way out from Playlist Live actually on that Sunday, which is the last day, and we were on our way to leave actually. It was like one of the last few hours of Playlist, and he was out meeting people. I noticed that Playlist Live, whenever a YouTuber came out to meet fans that was outside of their meet and greet times, they always had a manager with them who was kind of like maintaining the line and trying to figure out where the cutoff point was going to be. But Che was out there all by himself. I didn't see anybody with him, and it was really cool. I really appreciate that. I know with some of the bigger YouTubers it is going to be more difficult. They're going to have to find a cutoff point, but Che I feel like is in like the in-between. I really liked meeting Che too, because he actually did like a burst with photos, so we kept making funny faces. I'll overlap the pictures here, but it was really cool, and I really liked how he was the one who asked to take multiple pictures. He didn't really ask, he just did it, and I didn't know what was going on. I usually like to ask if we could take a silly picture and then a normal picture, but he was like doing it for me, so I was like, okay, Che. But he was really sweet, and he's British, which is perfect on top of it too, basically. One of the next nicest YouTubers I've met is Charles Trippy, and Charles Trippy is actually a daily vlogger. I don't know if you know who he is. He's CTFXC. He posts videos every day, and I met him on Warped Tour because he is the bassist for the band We the Kings. One of the main reasons why I went to Warped Tour was because I just wanted to meet Charles Trippy. I mean, I loved the other bands that were performing, but I really wanted to meet him, and the tickets aren't that expensive for Warped Tour, so I'm like, might as well go. I would get his tweets sent to my phone, and I would notice that after every show, either before or after their set, he would always tweet saying where he was going to be meeting fans. It was kind of hard because where I saw them was, it was at like an amphitheater, and they really had a hard time like meeting people, because usually he would come to like the gates after the show, but it was kind of too difficult at the amphitheater. So he was like, hey, I'm just gonna be at the merch booth. So me and my friend ran to the merch booth. We were like the 4th people in line, and so we were there and we were waiting for him to come out, and then he came, and then he wanted to do his little end slate where he always says toodles at the end of all of his videos. And so I'm actually in the vlog. I'll insert it right here really quick.
I wasn't able to go side stage with the amphitheater, but Maybe I'll allow me to go to the tent. So 1, 2, 3.
We got to meet him, I took a picture with him, and then I went off on my own with my friend, and we went to go look at like other stuff, look at more merch booths and stuff. And then we came back like around an hour later, and there was probably like 3 people in his line, but he was still there meeting people. He didn't leave even though nobody was in line for him. So I went up and met him again. I took a funny face picture with him because I'm like, why not? I'm just going to. The next really set of YouTubers that were really nice was SDK, and SDK stands for the Settle Down Kids. SDK is kind of made up of like 8 guys, and they're all in one collab channel, but like some of them are actually in the collab channel, but some of them aren't, but it's just, that's how they do things. They're hilarious. I met SDK like 2-ish, 3-ish times because I've met some of them at separate times, but I've met all of them together, if that makes any sense at all. But I met SDK for the first time in Press Play in Chicago, which was March like 2015, like 2 years ago almost. Yeah, wow. When I was working in Disney, I saw that I was seeing SDK that night because they were doing a show. They went on a mini tour at the end of the summer, and they had a meet and greet, but I was too broke to buy the meet and greet pass. But I did meet Nolan and Ryan at Disney and their friend Eric. I saw that on Snapchat and like on Twitter they were tweeting about being in Disney, so they were in Hollywood Studios. Me and my friend, we were in Magic Kingdom. We saw they were at Hollywood Studios, so we just booked it out of there and we found them, and they're really not the most popular YouTubers out there. And so I was kind of nervous if I saw them, which I did, and I was kind of nervous to be like, hey, can I get a picture with you, because they're really not that popular. So I don't want to be like, hey, I'm just this creepy fangirl who just kind of stalked you, because how else would I have found you here? They were really chill. They got to talk to me for a little bit, and I'm like, I'll see you later at the show tonight. They're like, yeah. So that was cool. And then I met them again at Playlist Live. I met them at their like official meetup, which did not work very well. I will say it was very unorganized. They only got to meet like 20 people. We were just about at the end of the cutoff line. We just made it in to meet them, but a lot of people after me and my sister weren't able to meet them, so they had to leave after that because it was just getting too crazy and stuff. After their meetup and kind of around the time where I met Che, I saw Man TV, which is like a little group with the SDK boys, which was Nick, Adam, and Nolan, and then their friend Ryan, well, Ryan Abe, and he was with them. And so that was really nice of them to come back down right after the meetup when they could have like spent that time to rest and like cool down a bit, but they came like right back into the lobby to meet fans, which was really cool. And they're so nice. They are exactly like how they are in their videos. They're hilarious, they're super funny, and they're just very chill, and I really like that about them. They're super chill, they just do whatever they want, and it's really funny. The next nicest YouTuber I've met and will hopefully be meeting again, because it's been 3 years and I'm hoping he's gonna come back for his book tour, is Connor Franta. Ugh. If anybody knows me, they would know Connor Franta is one of my favorite human beings on this planet. And I met him on the O2L tour. He was, oh my gosh, he was one of the sweetest YouTubers I've met. Before that, I actually was in his Omega video. Yeah, it's like 19 days.
June 13th.
And he remembered me and my sister. Like, we had to say like, hey, we were in your Omegle video. But he's like, oh my gosh, yeah. And he was like, there were 3 of you, and then your mom was in it. And I'm like, oh my god, he remembers. It was so cool. When I met him, then it was a different type of liking towards him, because that was before he did that thing. So like, I still support him. Like, you know, he is one of my favorite humans. But when I met him, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but still, either way, he was one of the sweetest beings ever, and I just love him to death, and he is such a positive human. He like seems so interested in talking to me. You met like all the O2L members like one at a time, like individually, and a lot of times like some people will talk to Kian more and stuff, so we'll be like awkwardly like standing there, and Connor would just be like talking to us, and it was really cool. So I really appreciate him, and he is a very nice human being, and he better come to Chicago. That's all I'm saying. The second to last set of YouTubers that were the nicest I've met were, I can hear people saying it out loud, they're back there, Dan and Phil. Yeah, they were some of the nicest YouTubers I've met. I'm just putting them in here because I met them at Playlist Live. I was completely starstruck meeting them. They were one of like the only people that I was like completely, like I completely blanked out when I met them. I had nothing to say to them. I was just like, when I met them, I literally said probably like 5 words to them total. That's an exaggeration. I probably said like 20, but Dan and Phil, I've watched like every single one of their videos all the time since like 2013. They are my number ones, so it's been like forever coming and I've waited for that moment forever. They were so sweet. They took their time taking photos with everyone. Their managers were walking around saying like, you guys can only take 1 photo with them, you can take 1 autograph, all this stuff. But like the first thing I said when I came up to them was like, can I take 2 pictures? And they're like, yeah, I don't care. So I'm like, yes. Everybody who's made videos about like meeting them have said that they are super, super sweet, and I do not disagree. They are super, super nice and I love them to death. The very, very, very nicest YouTuber I've ever met so far has been Ricky Dillon. Ricky Dillon is so sweet, and I've met him 3 times. I met him at the O2L tour with Con Franta. I met him at Playlist Live, and then I met him on his book tour last summer. He always seems so happy meeting his fans, and he literally goes above and beyond meeting fans. Like, he will use his own time to meet fans, and he is one of the bigger YouTubers out there, so he is like risking getting trampled going out there to meet fans, but I respect him so much. When I met him at Playlist Live and on his book tour, he was playing music really loud. He was making sure everyone was having a good time. I showed him my pig, Glitzy, and he put him in his Snapchat story. And then I talked to him about it at the book tour. I'm like, hey, I don't know if you remember, I was that girl that had that pig from Playlist Live. He's like, yeah, I remember you. I don't know if he actually did, but it was still nice of him to say that. So he is literally one of the sweetest beings ever in this entire world, and that is it. So that is it for this video. Those were some of the nicest YouTubers I've met. If you have met any of the YouTubers I've met and they were super nice to you, let me know down below. I like to hear your stories. And that is it. I hope you guys have a great week and a magical day, and I will see you all. I just like hit my hand on the desk. I will see you all very, very soon.